Speaking during a church service on Sunday in AIC Milimani, Nairobi, President William Ruto stated that churches will be protected, calling on those with contrary ideas to allow religious leaders to self-regulate.
Allow religious leaders themselves to develop how they want to regulate themselves, because that was the recommendation of the task force I appointed under Reverend Mutava Mushimi, that the religious body in Kenya will decide how they want to make sure that the freedom of worship in Kenya is protected. And I want to give assurance to the church and to the religious institutions in Kenya that we will defend the right and the freedom of worship in Kenya, and it will not be compromised.
According to Ruto, interfering with the church was a blatant violation of the Constitution.
As government, we respect our Constitution. The preamble of the Constitution of Kenya says God of all creation. That is the beginning of the Constitution of Kenya, meaning that we surrender to God. And that is why Kenya shall continue to be a God-fearing nation. And we will defend the freedom of worship in our republic.
The president's sentiments lie on the backdrop of the draft religious organization recommendations that was presented to him on the 30th of July by the Presidential Task Force on the review of the legal and regulatory framework governing religious organizations in Kenya. Among the proposals put across by the task force were that churches should submit their financial returns to the government every year, the establishment of the Religious Affairs Commission to oversee religious matters, as well as the suspension of religious institutions for 6 months for those that would fail to file their annual returns. Religious organizations are seemingly up in arms over the Tana River Senator Danson Mungatana Bill, Religious Organization Bill of 2024, which awaits public participation that would establish the office of the Registrar for religious organizations such as churches, which would issue or revoke registrations of religious organizations and churches. The Religious Organizations Bill 2024 proposes that the clergymen and churches who do not register shall be charged a fine of 5 million shillings or a 3-year sentence. That the eligibility of religious organizations must be supported by 25 people of the same faith and a religious leader with a certified theology education. The bill further mandates that religious bodies should create separate bank accounts for offerings and tithes, with those for income generated from other economic activities like selling merchandise. With the president's pronouncements today, it begs the question, of what essence really was the formation of the technical committee with the proposal stipulated in that document staring at a premature death? Alan Owino for K24.